Hello friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my very special report on the Cancer full moon in the days around January 13th, 2025. I'm calling the theme of this full moon the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm going to go into lots of details about why I'm so excited about this as a massive time for opportunities. When the full moon comes into Cancer, it awakens the heart's deepest reservoirs of emotional wisdom and soulful intuition and bonded connectedness. The glow of this moon is beckoning us to come home, literally and metaphorically. So, very important topics regarding home and family and housing are going to be really at the heart of the expression of this time. This is going to offer a massive amount of opportunities, some opportunities even of a lifetime. So I'm going to focus a lot on this report, what types of opportunities you're going to see and why. We also have 5 gorgeous, super positive aspects that are coinciding with this full moon that are going to flavor these opportunities and activate them and bring all of this alive. So I'm going to take it all piece by piece. This is for all signs. So before I get into all of these wonderful opportunities that may come your way, let's talk about some timelines. Generally, we feel the fullness, the completion, the fruition, sometimes the drama, the elucidation of the full moon several days before. So certainly, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th of January, things are moving to their fullness. Sometimes you feel this fullness coming sooner, as the waxing moon is building to this fullness, this story of whatever's going to come out here. You may start to see the hints of it sooner than that. You may get insomnia, definitely might be difficult to sleep. You may get intuitive or other types of inspirations in the night that you can jump on, to create something wonderful. You also will feel this very strongly in the days after January 13th, so the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. And if your birthday is any time around these days, this is an extra special blessing for you, as this energy will carry in not only for the timelines I'm going to give you, but also for the whole birthday year from now, that you'll get all these goodies worked into this for you. There's always a timeline of a possible couple of week buildup, and there's always a timeline with moon processes that can be around 28, 29 days of manifestation. And then, of course, there's the layer of the 13 moon cycle that, since the last moon, something might have been developing to build for this one, and things happening now can build over the next 13 moons as well. But there's another very exciting timeline that I want to share, and it has to do with the eclipses. Now, I'll go into this more later, I think. I have to see how it flows for me to get into it right now. But basically, this full moon is happening at the very, very end of 23 degrees, 59 minutes. That's just when it crosses over into 24 degrees. So essentially at 24 degrees of Cancer. Of course, the sun is at 24 degrees of Capricorn. And this 24-degree point in this earth and water energy is laying this invisible but powerful connection to the lunar eclipse that will be at late 23, almost 24 degrees of Virgo in the days around March 13th or March 14th. So we've got the second eclipse in the Pisces-Virgo eclipse cycle happening in March, and the degree that it's happening at is almost 24 degrees of Virgo. So here we have this 24-degree tie-in that's creating a trine, which is the most favorable aspect in all of astrology, with the sun position of the full moon, and a 60-degree angle with that Virgo energy that's going to come. So these are invisible connections, but they're powerful connections, and they tell of a story that has been unfolding. And so something important that happens now not only can have importance for the timelines that I gave you, just now about the couple of weeks, the month, the 13 moon, but it can also be very relevant for the next several months from now until March. And there could even be stories that get woven into 2027, because the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle is going from the end of 2024 into early 2027. So there's a tie-in here. There's this mathematical line of energy that is giving a kiss, that's giving a boost, that's an amplification to and locking in to this story of this eclipse cycle. Everything in life is mathematical, and this is seen in astrology because astrology is life. It's a reflection of our dance with the inside of us and outside of us, the above and below. And those mathematical connections carry over regardless of what topic we're looking into. Behind it is something mathematical. And here it is again. This was actually also true for the new moon in Capricorn. So if you didn't watch my Black Moon report, I do get into that more about the tie-in between that moon and the March 29th solar eclipse at 9 degrees in Aries, that last Aries Libra eclipse in the cycle of 2 years. So something coming to completion there. So these are very important moons as it relates to the eclipse cycle. And we are back in eclipse season here in January, especially as the month moves on, because 4 to 6, even sometimes 8 weeks before the actual eclipses, we start to awaken with the stories that are going to come. Aries, Libra, me versus we, Pisces, Virgo, your inner realm, your outer realm, the practical versus the ethereal. I'm not going to go very deep into the eclipse stories, but just to let you know that there's a tie-in here with this moon. And the things that happen around this moon, you may see over the next few months as a very important chapter that's linked together. Okay, so now let's start to get into what these opportunities, possibly of a lifetime, can be. What topics will they come under, and what are some ways that you may see them manifest? So first of all, you may be able to get further into manifesting stability as it relates to your emotional stability, as it relates to the creation of a sanctuary that feels safe and nourishing, whether it's redecorating your home. And here we are in the web of, Mars retrograde at the end of January. We're going to start the Venus retrograde, pre-shadow, So even if you're not doing something big, something where you're establishing a healthier dynamic with your environment, a healthier routine, anchoring in some sort of new emotional or physical home, or getting information about this for the future. As I alluded to before, when I was saying that you may wake up in the night with some things, this lifetime opportunity can come through unleashing creative genius. So if you're an artist, a musician, or a writer, or even if you're not, or an inventor, you can definitely expect an increased chance of vivid dreams and waves of inspiration from the divine. This is, after all, a water energy, and the aspects that are at play are very water-based. So let me just start to build the story of the aspects, and then we'll get into more opportunities of what's happening here. So we've got Mars and Neptune making a beautiful connection. So you've got a connection between Mars and Uranus that is favorable. You've got a connection between Uranus and Neptune that is favorable. Uranus is the planet of surprises and sudden things. That's why I wanted to link this, this sudden gut pull. Uranus is in a beautiful aspect with the sun. Okay, so all of this is just, and then of course the sun is in a nice aspect with Neptune. This is just one big happy family of connections that's happening here. It's really quite extraordinary. Another opportunity of a lifetime that you might see that can roll in here can have to do with unusual collaborations. Whenever Uranus is involved, something unusual can come in, something surprising, something out of the blue, something really out of the box thinking. So you can look for these opportunities to merge your creativity with someone else's vision, and it may be someone else's structured vision or your own structured vision. This is the forces of ambiguous and ethereal versus structure and discipline. It's the skeleton and the life that animates the skeleton, the creativity that animates the skeleton. Those are the types of energies that are happening here when we're looking at Saturn, which rules Capricorn, which is where the sun is, which is linking into these aspects. That rules our skeletal system. And whether it's physically or energetically, the foundation of our being that lets life animate us and holds us up while life animates us is part of this. So it's very, very beautiful. So then we can add to this that the moon and Mars, for that matter, is also in a beautiful connection with Saturn and Pisces. So And guess who's right next to Saturn? Venus. So we've got the energy of love and relationships and money and finances, and Saturn, which rules Capricorn, which is, where the sun is at now, and Pallas and Venus there, and Mercury's there. So this just beautiful flow between earth and air is so predominant at this time. And it can really give you a life-changing experience and create a rare chance to turn dreams into lasting realities. When Saturn is involved, that is always the potential. Emotional maturity, yours or someone else's who's been affecting you, a newfound commitment to your dreams. Saturn rules hard work. So this could be a perfect time to commit to a spiritual practice or an artistic endeavor or an emotional healing journey or something like that. This can also have to do with the energy of building these emotional legacies, writing a memoir or recording family stories or creating something deeply personal and emotional that will last and that will connect other people in with their emotions. You may also find yourself stepping into a mentorship role or finding the perfect mentor. When Saturn is involved, Saturn is a teacher, is a mentor, is a wise one. And even though sometimes we don't like his chop busting, as I like to call what he does, can be pretty heavy, can be pretty stern. This is the energy of mentor. And this mentor can help you with your finances. This mentor can help you with your love relationship. This can be a force that comes into your love relationship that strengthens it. So then we're getting back to the moon and Mars and back to the story of Neptune and the North Node. And these are healing waters, more healing waters, where you may actually connect in with water that's healing. You may go to a power spot that, is near water. You may get water work done, like, working with water for healing. Activating your water with high vibration. Everything is vibration, and vibration is everything. We can measure, what a gallbladder emits frequencies at with an oscilloscope. An oscilloscope measures vibration and frequency. Everything has a signature frequency. You have a signature frequency. Everybody does. I mean, if you tune in, you can notice someone's frequency even when they enter a room, and this is the type of time where these types of powers may become supercharged. Neptune can open a doorway to transcendence. The highest expression alignment here can also be part of that opportunity for spiritual awakening. You can have creative alchemy. There's an otherworldly quality to everything that's happening here. So you might feel more attuned to your dreams. You might feel more connected to synchronicity. Synchronicity is the language of spirit. And spirit speaks through these symbolic types of experiences. Like if you're trying to decide, should you move? And at the moment you're deeply thinking of that, a moving truck comes right in front of you and says, time to go. It's called a waking dream. So you might notice that this language that is always going on is something that you become more attuned to at this time. Animal messages, things that people say, a song that comes on at the right time, communing with nature, getting a message from a nature energy or interaction, something like that. Basically connecting with the lesser seen and more felt energies. When I was going through a really hard time, one of my very dear friends got me this little bag that said, it was like a bag to carry stuff, and it said, faith is not something that can be seen, but can be felt with the heart. And this is a really, really strong statement for this time, because you may not be seeing evidence of certain things changing or certain things happening for you, but you may feel it before it actually happens. And so maybe you've had a problem for a while, and maybe it doesn't seem like the solution has come in, but you feel on some level that the solution has come in. It just hasn't manifested yet into the physical level. With our different levels of being, we're multidimensional beings, on our different levels of being, we can feel change often before it shakes out into the physical realm. Things are slower in the physical third dimension. So sometimes it takes a little while for things to echo out into that space. Okay, so going back just to the pure connection with the sun and Uranus, and this can have to do with sudden breakthroughs. Sudden breakthroughs in something material. Okay, this time, if we're just purely looking at these connections, these are the earth realm. This is the material realm. So some sort of sudden breakthrough in career or finance, some sort of genius idea that helps you to innovate your business or finance. You know, Uranus can disrupt things, but in a beautiful angle, it's usually a welcome disruption. So this trine is something that may be able to ensure that the changes are constructive and not chaotic. You know, like an unexpected promotion or a shift in a long-term plan that can ultimately benefit you. And remember what I was talking about before, things happening now are leading up to this story of the eclipses and this final Aries Libra eclipse in the cycle, and the continuation, the Pisces Virgo eclipse. So there's something building here. There's something going on behind the scenes. There could be something that has to do with radical self-expression. Uranus can rule things that are radical. Also, I want to mention that when I'm recording this right now, it's getting to be the evening, and my owl friend just showed up right after I said about the animal messengers that, you know, spirit speaks through synchronicity. So I just want to share a couple of things about the owl message, because I feel like the owl may have come in to add a little bit to what I'm talking about. And then I'll go back to these layers that we're looking at with these aspects. Okay, so if you're familiar with animal messaging or just any association that people have with the owl, there's of course this connection with wisdom and knowledge. Owls are often seen as these messengers of insight and clarity, and they're often associated with this deep wisdom that transcends intellectual understanding. So I feel like that is a very, very big message, that you may be developing wisdom now, you may be accessing wisdom now that is actually transcending intellectual understanding. You might not be able to explain it logically, but there's some sort of wisdom that is building here. Owls also symbolize the ability to see what is hidden, and they reflect intuition and the uncovering of truths. And here at the full moon, you know, what do full moons do? They elucidate. So there may be something coming that is true, or a truth that was hidden, or information that was hidden. And, you know, like with all other nocturnal creatures, owls are linked to these unseen realms, and they're considered guides to navigate the mysteries of life, including the connection between the spiritual and the unconscious and subconscious minds. For people who do follow animal messages, the owl often appears during times of personal transformation, you know, acting as these symbols of moving through the darkness into light and clarity. So if you have had a lot of darkness, maybe this could be a message that if you're feeling hope but not seeing any logical reason for it, like inappropriately hopeful, as I call it sometimes when I'll get one of these insights, I'll say, gosh, I'm feeling inappropriately hopeful right now for this situation, because there's nothing around to show that there's hope, but I feel it somewhere. And this owl message can also reflect that. And in many cultures, the owl is also seen as a protector against harm, particularly, you know, with spiritual or energetic types of dealings. So, you know, that is very exciting. Now, this is kind of funny, and it's funny how these things work. One thing I meant to mention, and I did not mention, was that not only is the sun making this trine to Uranus, but also Pallas Athena is. I think I may have mentioned it, but I did not explain fully. And I guess Pallas Athena wants to get into the story here because she is the star goddess that is associated the most with the owl. So whenever she's here and her messenger, the owl, who just came to us, this energy of wisdom and strategic thinking, you know, is coming in here. But it's like an intuitive, intellectual combination. You know, so basically letting intuition guide you with your strategizing. She's also a warrior goddess. She's the sister of Eris, who we also know as Aries, you know, who is a fierce god, but she doesn't always fight first. She likes to use her mental powers before using her physical powers. And if somebody messes with her, you know, she'll turn them into a spider or whatever different stories that we've seen. But she usually tries to not do that first. So she's a multi-goddess. She rules a lot of different areas of the chart. And one of the other things is that she's like the patron of creation, of crafts and creativity, and like doing things with your hands, sewing and creating things, and an industry really. So having inspiration that's required for innovation for industry could also be something that's coming through here. And, the owl's nocturnal nature really mirrors Athena's role as a guide through life's unknowns, where she would help mortals navigate these challenges with clarity and purpose, and, to try to think and feel first before physically fighting and taking the spiritual warriorship to the next level outside of just physical warriorship, like really evolving into the spiritual warrior. The combination here can definitely lead to these, this reshaping of the material world, of your material experience, things having to do with the discipline and structure of Saturn, Capricorn, with the Uranus out of the box things that we talked about. So together they create these opportunities for these practical yet possibly revolutionary strategies, in business or in career or for other systems like finance or agriculture or technology or sustainability. Taurus very much rules the energy of sustainability. And Capricorn is one of the seventh generation signs where, it's like a storyteller of us thinking about how things are going to affect, like Native people have done, how things may affect us 7 generations from now before we make a decision. So it's pretty exciting, energetic downloads, tangible manifestations of intuition, healing earthly connections. I mean, we pretty much have it all at this time. Full moon is a time where we shake off emotions that have built up in our field and can, like a dog shaking off water with the water representing emotion, just kind of, shaking yourself clean and clear of negative karma, beliefs that are trapping you in the continuation of karma, and really stepping into this beautiful transcendence where we're all one and where everything is connected by this filamentous energetic spider web that connects all of life. If you want to know more about this month, then definitely I'm going to, well, let's see. For YouTube friends, I'm going to put as the playlist at the end of this, my current and upcoming astrology playlist, and you can scroll through there to look for my January report. The horoscopes for each sign are actually in one video or one podcast this month. So if you're looking for individual ones, you're not going to find them. But I'm calling the theme of this month, the planetary clash bringing a mountain of cash. So if you want to see more about that and see some specific things for your sign, then definitely look for that podcast, friends. You can just scroll back in time and find the January 2025 horoscope reports. It has come to my attention that of my 150,000 subscribers, most of you are not getting notifications when I post things. So if that's the case, and I'm posting almost weekly now. So if you go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in, click receive, you'll join my newsletter, and then you'll know when I post things, because it's been interesting to try to connect with this beautiful community that has built around me for 12 years, that I can't actually even always connect directly with you. YouTube is interfering with that. So I'd like to be able to always let you know when I have something going on. And the only way it seems like I can do that for sure is if you join this private community where I'll tell you when I post things, and then you can see, you can subscribe, click the bell, enable notifications. These all can help you get my posts in your feed, but they're apparently not a guarantee. So that's how you can do that. You can also subscribe in the podcast venues, and I do send out podcast links. Also, when you join my free VIP community here at anniehelpsyou.com, you will get all of my content early. So you'll get early access links faster than it goes up to the public. So you'll get it earlier, you'll get it for sure. And, you can also get lots of other free goodies in that welcome letter. I've got a ton of free goodies, including my eclipse resource guide, my retrograde resource guide, my zodiac health resource guide, and so much more. To learn astrology, you can also find my astrology education at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. So I hope you have a wonderful month and that this moon is magical, and I'll see you in another report soon. Bye for now.